Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans. And of course, good old Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. Jack Spade checking in from One Time for the Fan. Episode 172. T-Will is here with us today. T-Will.
How goes it?
Everything going good for you, sir?
Everything is going well, sir. I cannot complain, and it's another day vertical, and I'm happy to be here on a Sunday at 8:07 p.m. getting ready to talk some Falcons football. Could not be better.
8:07 p.m. on a Sunday in the off season, and here we go, talking Falcons football. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button, Falcon fans. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast. I believe Chase might be joining us here shortly. I believe Bodie 3000 might be joining us here shortly. It's the off season, so it's kind of like vacation for everybody. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for a while. T, you know it. We've been talking about it. We've been doing this for a while. Sundays, Wednesdays, pop-up shows, out of town, home game, away game. Doesn't really matter. We've been doing it for so long. Bodie has been here since day one. Chase, who has been a great addition of One Time for the Fan since about almost a year now since he's been here. And then Kiki too as well. Most of y'all haven't seen Kiki on the channel. Terry, you're in the chat with us. You see us all talking Falcons football in the chat. So you see it, that everybody's there. But people have some things to do. Matter of fact, we got one of our special guests for tonight. Might as well go ahead and get to him right here. There he is, right there. The one and only Professor Bodie 3000. What's going on, Bodie?
Bodie,
What up? What up, Terry? How you doing? Jake,
how are you doing? I know, right? How are you doing? I've heard a lot about you.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be our first show. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm exhausted, but I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Well, I'm looking forward to working with you, sir. I've heard
Absolutely.
nothing but good things about you, and I can't wait to chop it up with you. Just excited, man.
See,
Excited.
right now, it's all the speculation of what we're gonna do and which way we're gonna go. And man, we could talk till the cows come home, but you know that's what we do anyway. But the meat and potatoes start moving next week when the combine start and all that stuff. So I'm ready.
Bodie, guess what? We're doing the podcast tonight.
Amen.
The meat and potatoes have already started moving a little bit with the
Well,
resign.
yeah, we know you cooked the meat and
potatoes.
potatoes already.
Shit.
I've been waiting.
Shit.
Boom.
That is tough. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Bodie 3000 here with us, One Time for the Fan. T-Will is here with us, One Time for the Fan. False Star Falcon is also here with us from One Time for the Fan in the chat, talking Falcons football. Deshaun Coswell's in the chat. He said, "What's up, one-timers? Team Russ and Sierra, our QB and First Lady. Yeek. Get some. Deshaun, do you have our topics? Did you get our notes? How the hell you get our notes, man? Second comment is already talking about Russ. Maybe he knows a little bit of something about what's about to happen tonight, Bodie.
Maybe you do. Maybe
he knows a little something. Our newest member of the Rise Up Tour won our membership the other night. Kenny Santa Breeze in the chat. He said, "What's up, fellas? Big ups to all the one-timers. Rise up. Hashtag one-timers. Hashtag the fan club. You already know we love our diehard Atlanta Falcon fans. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button. We're talking Falcons football with all the Falcons fans. Sterling Woods is in the chat, one of our diehard Atlanta Falcon fans, and he was our second place giveaway winner, I believe, the other night, Sterling Woods. So we have some cool stuff coming to Sterling Woods shortly. You'll be getting that. So be on the lookout. I'm sure you'll be getting a notification or something from matter of fact, you wouldn't get it. I would get it. So I'll let you know when the package is going to be to you, but you should be getting that before free agency starts. So big shout out to Kenny. Big shout out to Sterling Woods. Big shout out to DSGB Hall in the chat throwing emojis around.
Welcome. That's a day oneer right there.
It's a day one fan. He was talking Falcons football with me earlier today too as well. Rydell Jr. is in the chat with the yo. Wallace Smith, diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. He's in the chat. What's going on, fella?
What's going on?
Deloach's in the chat. I love my new Falcon Cup too, by the way. I love that shit.
Yeah.
You see how it's metallic in this fucking. Look at that shit.
Nice.
That's the Super Bowl fucking trophy, baby.
Nice.
Yeah. I love it.
Now I want to know what's in the cup.
Oh, a little bit of something. Games I got tonight. You know, I'm an e-sporter. I'm a gamer, so I got some big games tonight. So I'm just trying to get ready. The Loach is in the chat with the one time. JJ Ayers is in the chat. He said, yo, 706 is in the building.
Hey, say it
One time
again.
for the fan and not your typical church fan. Shit.
Sheesh, yeah, 706 right here too.
706 is here representing Falcon fans. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Everybody, tell your Falcons friends, tell your Falcons family, tag them, bring them in here because we love talking Falcons football. We got some topics for y'all tonight. 9 o'clock, we probably gonna get up out of here because we got some stuff to do. But Bodie, Terry, this cap situation now that we talked about over the past couple weeks was like how the Falcons can get from 25 to 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and try to get a little bit more money. And then the NFL, with their rules, of course, some people must have totally forgot that, you know, the NFL is going to drop their, what's it, the cap, Bodie, the cap, the NFL, the annual assessment
cap,
of the
adjustment, appreciation.
Yeah.
A lot of teams going to get compensated for that.
Yeah.
Falcons was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons is now sitting on the upside of what, 38 million now?
Yep.
In less than a couple days of us talking about how to get from 25. Well, we got to cut Jonnu. Well, we got to cut this guy. Well, the NFL has to do their thing too as well. Now we're sitting at around 38. A lot of teams did get their piece too as well. So some teams did go up in the cap numbers. But for the Falcons at 38 now, Bodie, now we can change the topics about who we can go get, who can we acquire, who can we target here in the free agency. Bodie, they're going to make some more moves and probably get around close to 55, maybe close to 60. And then there's going to be some more big names here that we're going to be throwing out. But your thoughts, Bodie, on just the cap for the Falcons now that we're sitting at 38. Fans was a little bit worried at 25 what we can do, who we're going to cut to get over the mark. And now we're in a position. We're not the top 10 team with money. So people's not going to be looking at the Falcons like, oh, you guys got a shit ton of money. We're good in a position where Terry has brought us. But Bodie, your thoughts on just this cap situation for the Falcons? We're going to make some moves. We're going to make some cuts. What you got for us?
Oh yeah, we still making those cuts. They're happening. We got a little bit more money, but what some people don't realize is that the free agents' prices are going up too, right along with that. So it is gonna even out to a sense. But I mean, it's always helpful to have more money. But the top dollar free agents are going to ask for more money. Their agents will incorporate that into their next contracts. So that's something to take into accountability. You know, they can't stay stagnant. They got to move up with the times too. Cost of living goes up everywhere. It's the same thing. So it helps us, of course. We'll be able to maybe get a couple more of the cheaper players if it's the money goes up like that. So I mean, it's a plus and it's a slight negative. But if the top players deserve what the top money is, then I have no problem paying Danielle Hunter what he's worth, or even my personal favorite, young Bryce Huff, what he's worth in this market. He's a sleeper. People probably don't know about Bryce Huff, but that's a dog, and that's a guy I want. But we'll get there. But yeah, so yeah, as our cap raises, so does demand and for the free agents and their money. So it's kind of balances out.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe button. Fans in the chat, we were talking about the cap space right now for the Falcons, where we were sitting at close to 25, 26 last week when we did the podcast, talking about, oh, how could we get a Russell, or how could we get a Kirk Cousins, or how could we get a Daniel Hunter, or even some of these big name targets that could be available. And then the cap assessment for the NFL went over, and then the Falcons gained about 12, 13 million, making some more moves is getting ready to happen. And now you could be probably sitting at 50, 55. So throwing a name like Daniel Hunter out there, that's not a long reach right there. We're not saying, oh, there's no way we can get this guy. No, there's a way we could get this guy. I like even I talked to, I forget who was it today. I think it was Chase, Josh Allen too as well. If the Jags don't move on that, and I saw a report from the Jags where they're going to try to clear up a shit ton of cap space to get to like 63, 70 to go pay Calvin and to go pay a Josh Allen. So some of these big name guys, it's going to be difficult to get because Minnesota's going to try their best to keep a Daniel Hunter. The reports of Justin Jefferson wanting to reset the wide receiver market as young as he is right now is
He's going to do it
because of who he is. I mean, Justin Jefferson's a phenomenal
He's going to do it.
He's going to do it too.
Justin Jefferson is going to sign the biggest contract in NFL history.
And that goes to where Drake
I'll say biggest wide receiver contract because the quarterbacks will break those records. But, yeah.
Falcons know Drake London is one of their wide receivers.
It'll be a record for about 5 minutes. Sorry. It'll be the biggest wide receiver contract for about 5 minutes until the next guy comes along, and then so on and so on. But
it's always records now.
There you go. Jack, back to your point about the cap situation. I think it's important to remember that the cap is typically adjusted every year. I know during COVID we kind of sat there because there was a revenue drop during that year, but it typically escalates. But to Bodie's point, that contract is coming up, right? And he's going to get $60 million. I just want you to think about that. I really want you to think about that. Dakota Prescott is going to get a contract for $60 million. And I'm not attacking the man. I'm not attacking him. I don't know anyone, with the exception of maybe Steve Young, that I would give $60 million. But we are where we are. So my point is, they will have to continue to grow and escalate, because if the cap is $200 million, $60 million is what percentage of that? So they're going to have to continue to expand the cap. But to Bodie's point, it's kind of par for the course, because if the salaries continue to go up, then same difference, right? So, I from a Falcons perspective, the more I look at this market, the more I look at these quarterbacks coming up, I'm thinking draft. I'm thinking whatever we have to do to sign a draft pick, because the reality of the situation is, if you're going to have a defense and you're going to put money on that side of the ball, you're going to need a quarterback that is economically feasible, right? That's what it's going to have to be. And hopefully you draft one that's ready and can take off right away, and then you can allocate your resources in other places. But to the extent that you sign a Kirk Cousins, we got what, 38 million now? I don't know, and no disrespect to Kirk, but we are where we are. Football is almost becoming, in a sense, like baseball. When I say that, I'm not trying to, frighten anyone. But what I'm saying is, now more than ever, it is important to assess value, right? Kirk Cousins at 40 million, Kirk Cousins at 30 million, okay, right? Russell Wilson at 20 million, great. Russell Wilson at 25 million, great. Russell Wilson at 50 million, not a chance, right?
That's tough.
You're gonna if you're going forward in this ever-changing, ever-growing economic market, it is important that you get value out of every position. You're also going to have to be able to draft well, right? Who just won the Super Bowl? Kansas City Chiefs? Didn't they do it with like the most rookies on their defense, or am I? But they had a lot of rookies on defense. They had a lot, right? Why is that? Because all of the money was on offense and Chris Jones, right? So just my thoughts. Jack, what say you?
For me, with the money the Falcons have, I don't want to spend it on a quarterback such as Kirk Cousins. I'm not being disrespectful to Kirk Cousins, but I'm not for the 36-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury here in Atlanta, where you get this guy 34. I'm sorry.
That's just
$30-40 million, if that's the range, and this guy's 36 years old, and you trying to still draft the guy later on. I mean, hell, you could have just went ahead and just drafted the guy right there and then just been done with it. But to go out there, a guy like Kirk Cousins. Now, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a different story. I wouldn't still throw 25, 30 million in that range. But hearing like Mike Fiora mention Russell Wilson should just take the minimum of $2 million and then let the Broncos pay out the rest and then just go to a team. If that's the case for Russell Wilson, then Russell Wilson, you are an Atlanta Falcon.
Amen.
Put this shit aside, Falcon fans, with all this future and everything. And I mentioned the future stuff because Atlanta's a city that is involved with a lot of petty shit. They love to be petty, right? They talk that way. They will do it to the team. You saw what they did to Ritter. You saw what they did to Matt Ryan.
Yep.
They love that shit. So for the future things, when you're in a city that's full of entertainment and art and all this stuff, and everybody loves, the music and everything, the future stuff will play out because of the fact that we're a city that's about entertainment. We haven't won the big championship with the Falcons, so entertainment will take over on that level. And fans will be in the chat talking. There might not be fans here in our chat talking, but when you go to the press conferences, you're going to see people in those chats, the YouTube, the Twitter, just tagging random people that have no association with the Falcons just to start stir content. The single game ticket people I told you that's going to go to the game just to yell out obscene gestures to Russell for no apparent reason. They don't even know the man. They don't know the man's family. Mm-hmm. But as a Falcon fan, you have to look at this quarterback situation and say, if we get Russell Wilson in Atlanta, we are going to win. And then Russell's talk today with Brandon Marshall saying that he wants to win 2 more championships in the next 5 years. That's Russell, if you just put a 5-year cap on your career of where you are over 30, and we have a head coach who has a 5-year deal here in Atlanta, well, pair these two together. Let's go find a way to get 2 championships out of this shit because Russell said he's ready to go.
Let's do it.
Now you're paying him 15, 20 million. I'm all for it because Russell's career stats has shown it. So we did talk about the field situation because the field situation has been known to many people here in Atlanta. But you cannot knock the fact, Bodie and Terry, that if you put Russell Wilson in Atlanta right now, we are going to win. The numbers have shown. Even on a sorry-ass Broncos team, the numbers have shown that Russell Wilson is consistent. He is the leader that you need here in Atlanta. He is that elite processor that what's his name? Zach Robinson was speaking about, and Raheem was talking about. Elite processor, wants the ball at the end of the game in his hands. Bring him here to Atlanta. Now, the problem is, of course, the sideline stuff that could happen, off the field issues. We don't deal with media stuff. You guys notice that? We don't deal with media stuff. If Bodie was on a player on the Falcons and his Twitter got hacked, he might have a meeting with Arthur Blank tomorrow morning of why his Twitter was hacked and it wasn't secured properly. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't play that shit. You don't see y'all don't notice that about the Falcons? Y'all don't hear no small reports. That's why the Julio thing was so big because he was like, Julio, what are you doing on Shannon Sharp?
Right.
You're not supposed to be doing that. That's right. You broke the code.
Right.
Because who else is doing that here? What Falcon player is bashing the Falcons? What Falcon player is bashing Arthur Smith outside of the CP tweet from last year? And when we saw the CP tweet, we was like, oh shit. CP retweeted his usage?
Right.
Oh shit. We should be worried about that because Falcon players don't do that.
Right.
We don't.
It's a conservative market.
We don't shit and chat to our agents and talk shit behind the ball. We don't do that shit.
Right.
Players that leave here say that they love working with Arthur Blank. They love being here in Atlanta. They love that shit.
Right.
They don't talk bad about Atlanta.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for that case,
but that usage shit was an testament to Arthur Smith and his system. Don't tell that man he's gonna be a joker in the system, and he barely get touched the ball. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's going
to Vincent Coakley. Russell, everybody here is going to agree that you're going to get a quarterback, right? We all agree. We're going to get a quarterback.
Yes.
Who we're going to get at quarterback is where people's going to start debating and arguing.
Right.
The Russell Wilson thing is good. I like that, Vincent. But grabbing Mike Evans now puts you in that cap hell again because this little joker, he wants some cash.
Right.
Yeah,
Mike Evans. And Bodie, we can find some wide receivers in the free agency or in the draft that can fill your 2 or your 3 and 4 that you don't have to pay $16-17 million for. You got to pay Drake coming up. We want to put everything into the options for the Falcons. You have to pay Kyle. You have to pay AJ. Soon you have to pay Drake, right? You're going to do some restructures and so forth. And you got to pay, of course, whoever the big name guys coming in here in a couple of weeks, we hope that it's going to be a Daniel Hunter or something like that, a Khalil Mack, something like that. But I want the Falcons to spend the money wisely. I don't want them to see it blowing on a Mike Evans, who Mike Evans was a 1 in Tampa. We have a 1 in Drake. And for the fans that are saying, well, just move Drake to 2. Stop it. Stop it.
Right.
Stop it.
Don't
Stop it.
like
now
that.
we can play coach. We can play couch GM as far as we can. But when you start talking about move Drake to 2 and Bijan should be wide receiver, hold on, man. What the fuck are we talking?
Okay. All right. Jack, take a breath. Let me talk now.
I'm on my friend. You know I'm a preacher.
I know you going on a rant. Let me get this in. Okay. Yeah. So it would be irresponsible to pay a veteran Mike Evans on this team in our situation. That's how I feel. He wants some bread. He deserves some bread. I like Mike Evans, even though he's on the division rival. But I like Mike Evans. Mike Evans has gotten 1,000 yards every goddamn season he has played in this league.
With some bum quarterbacks and top quarterbacks.
With some bum ass shit thrown to him. And I mean, this man is a Hall of Famer. I have the utmost respect for Mike Evans. I hope he get his money, but it will not be in Atlanta. Okay. No. We got too many pressing needs. This wide receiver class is deep as a mother in the draft. Okay. I bet my left testicle, we gonna draft a wide receiver. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We only have 1 under contract right now. We're going to draft 1 or 2. You never know. We're going to draft 1, and we probably sign 1 in the free, or 2 or 3. So it's just going to happen that way. I like the Russell. I was telling you, Jack, in the chat. I told you days ago, before that damn report came out, that he was going to sign for the vet minimum because it makes no sense for him to sign. He's got 30-something odd $1 million guaranteed. I'm talking about Russell Wilson. He's got it guaranteed, and it just subtracts or it adds, depends on how much his next team gives him.
For you, wouldn't you want to? You're over 30. You're coming to the end of your career. You're getting 30-something mil from the Broncos. Wouldn't you still want to take a highest of the vet minimum that you can get though? Like if a team's saying $7 million, another one's saying 11. Shit, you're looking at the 11 like, I'm almost 50 million right now.
I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't matter what he gets. It doesn't matter what he gets, because let's say he's getting paid $38 million from the Broncos. Okay, we pay him $2 million vet minimum. Now the Broncos are in charge of paying him $37 million. What's $2 million? What I say? 30. I said 38. Take away $2 million, 37, 36. Right. Okay, so if we pay him $10 million. And they own $38 million. Then now the Broncos are paying him $28 million. You understand? Right. We're helping them. What the fuck do we want to help the Broncos for? You know what I'm saying?
And he doesn't want to help them. More importantly,
he sure don't want to help them. He filed a grievance. He filed a grievance versus them, and because the way they did him, the way they benched him, all of that shit. Why the fuck would he want to help them? He wants to fuck them over too.
So it goes to the comments from Russell Wilson with Brandon Marshall. What he said today is kind of like what Justin Fields just said the other day about why he
yet. I want to watch it.
Yeah, so he mentioned he wants to put his heart was in Denver and he gave his all to Denver and he wants to win. But then he said
he's a pro's pro.
I'm ready to go, you know.
Thing.
Who wants
he said that I would love to stay in Denver. Of course, that's a professional talking. But you know what the fuck he's thinking. Ain't no motherfucker. He know he ain't staying in Denver. But he's a pro's pro. So he's gonna say that. I would love to be in here in Denver. But wherever I go, you know, that's just what he's going to say.
That's trained Russell Wilson from PR to his coaching of how to speak to the media. Because imagine if Justin Fields the other day says, oh, yeah, I ain't followed the Bears. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck.
See,
then what?
He's a pro, too.
Then
the way
what?
He did it. He's like, yeah, man, I'd love to stay in Chicago. But, you know, whatever happens, you know, I understand it's a business. They're professional. That's why it's the professional, they call it. Professional league, they have to be professional. It's in their contract. They can't bash the team they currently play for.
And as soon as they do, what happens? Fines. This player gets this player gets
this. Not only that, not only fines, but think about it. If you bash the team you're with, a team that could potentially sign you is going to think, okay, I don't know about this guy, right?
Yeah.
Especially at quarterback, you are a leader. You are a leader and oftentimes the face of a franchise. We're not going to entrust you with a contract with all of this responsibility if when you face adversity, you go run into the media. Absolutely not. So you again, heavy is the crown, right? So no, you cannot put things out there. Now, I think Justin, in regards to unfollowing Chicago, I think he mentioned he was just tired of the rumors. True or not, that was the justification behind that.
Look,
Didn't unfollow all the other big media journalist people, but he
didn't.
Chicago.
He didn't. He unfollowed Chicago, and he said the NFL or whatever. Okay, Chicago's main page isn't posting rumors about him. They're not, because they're just assuming that that he's our guy right now. We're gonna play that role. They're not. He unfollowed the fucking. You know why he unfollowed the Bears? I don't even have to say it. That's some bullshit. Okay, let's be real. That's some bullshit. You don't just he unfollowed the Bears. The Bears aren't posting these rumors. The Bears aren't posting. He don't want to see Bears on his shit. And I get it, because they're moving the fuck on.
He technically wouldn't want to delete Chicago.
For folks who don't know, for folks who don't think that for all this bullshit they coming out right now, because they ain't got no media, because it's a dead period in the NFL. They're saying, yeah, maybe Justin will stay. Maybe they'll keep Justin and draft number 1. No, the fuck they're not. Okay, Justin's gone. It's happening. Justin's. Let's keep it 100,000 right now. Okay, Justin's gone. He unfollowed the Bears because fuck them, and he's leaving, and he know that they probably told him. You never know. They probably told him, we're working out a trade. We're gonna do the best. We're gonna do right by you, but we appreciate if you keep it in house. They probably told him. I wouldn't be surprised if he got traded this week.
Sounds professional, and I'm waiting, bro. But I'm telling you, it's what, February 25th. T. Will, Bodie, we are literally weeks away from when we cut on this podcast and say shit has hit the fan of the NFL. Because the moment that phone is able to ring for 32 NFL teams, you are talking about shit hitting the fan. What could be the first breaking news? Could the first breaking news is Russell Wilson is going to be, XYZ available? Is Justin Fields? When that free agency opens, it's going to be crazy. But here, Falcon fans, is the cool thing. You got some quarterbacks that's auditioning to be your quarterback. You just can't see them really audition yet as a player, because it's the offseason. But Russell Wilson is on a podcast with Brandon Marshall, telling Brandon how he wants to win. He still has it in him. 5 years, he wants to win 2 more Super Bowls. The way he said that he wants to feel that chill from the trophy again, that shit had me feeling like I never even seen the fucking trophy. I want to at least see the motherfucker. Get us a trophy here, Russ. So if he was to come to Atlanta, that would be great. And then you got Justin Fields' situation where he unfollowed the Bears, and we don't know if he's going to be the next quarterback for the Bears and what's going to happen. And
he's on the podcast, and he's talking. They're asking him about destinations. They mentioned Atlanta. He said, Atlanta be cool. They got some weapons. They might need a number 2.
Number 2. Because if they get Fields and free agency, they go draft Malik Neighbors at 8.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm feeling some excitement coming off Bodie's chest. I'm feeling like Bodie is for Justin.
I'm just saying. No, I mean, look, Justin isn't my first choice. Contrary to popular belief, as you both know. I mean, I was advocating a point. And what I'm referencing to is our group chats. We have discussions in there. We have debates, and we have, opinions. Everybody has an opinion.
Right.
I mean, well, I can tell you. I mean, Chase, you guys know Chase. Everybody here knows Chase.
Right.
Chase doesn't want Justin Fields. He is on the record saying
he doesn't. He doesn't.
And he is saying that his stats are mediocre. Shout out Chase. His stats are mediocre, and he just doesn't want them. That's okay. But I just humbly disagreed and said his stats aren't mediocre. I seen Nate Peterman's stats, that's mediocre. Zach Wilson's stats is mediocre. We're just having a debate. So I agree to disagree with that one. But he's been dealt a shit hand. That was my whole argument with Justin Fields, is that he was dealt a shitty hand in Chicago with 2 or 3 different coordinators, learning 2 or 3 different systems in 3 years, coming out as a 21-year-old, everybody looking for him to save. In the middle of his second season, they decided to trade the whole fucking team away and said, hey, make the shit into sugar. Yeah. And that's my whole thing with that. I think he just had a bad rap. He's been dealt a shit hand, and if he went to an organization that was fucking stable, he'd probably be a whole nother conversation about him. But that was just me pleading that particular case. I think my biggest case is what Terry said earlier. I want a youngster. I want to get one of them top youngsters. That's my number one. I'm not mad at Justin Fields only because he's only 24 and he can still learn. That's why I'm saying he's not shit. His touchdown to interception ratios are not shit. Okay, they're actually not bad considering the fact that he is a
40
true
to 30 right now career-wise.
He's a true but year by year you can see it, and but he's a true dual threat quarterback.
Yes.
So like he isn't just I can run it a little bit. He runs that bitch. Okay, he runs it. So that's to be taken. It's just a lot of. I was arguing that point with Chase, and we got in the weeds, but we still cool.
It's passion, right? It's passion. We are all passionate about the Falcons, and hey, sometimes it runs hot. We get it.
And that's the thing. I was trying to argue. I told y'all in the chat too. I was like, man, I just look at good situations all over. I tried to look at the other free agents we had, Ryan Tannehill. I was like, no, there's nothing good there. So I really wouldn't like that. But I tried. I go down the list from whoever, even Darnold, all them garbage ass quarterbacks that's in free agency right now.
Matter of fact, what you're talking about?
I tried to go down the list.
We got to just go ahead and get straight to it because fans are over here every minute. Can y'all see it? Y'all see the screen?
I am an optimist. I look for the good, and I'm a glass half full guy. So I'm looking down the quarterback list, and that's the best thing for Justin. Is what I was preaching. It might sound like I was an advocate for Justin. I wouldn't mind Justin. I'll just say that.
I wouldn't.
He's not my first choice though.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I wouldn't mind Justin. The only thing is you have to turn around and pay Justin 2025, right? So again, I wouldn't mind Russ or Justin. I mean, if I had my druthers, it's Drake May and or Caleb. Maybe 1-2. And then maybe Russ, and then Justin, if you have to. And the other draft pick, maybe 5 somewhere in there. I can't. You guys know his name. I forget his name. I forget him all the time. I don't know why. There you go. That guy. And to be honest, I don't even know whether to put him 5 or 3 because Jaden did it with no defense. I mean, no defense at all. So.
The thing with Jaden Daniels, I preach that I look at the good, and of course Heisman winner, threw all those touchdowns, ran for 1,000 yards, I believe. But he is the quarterback wild card. He's the boomer bust prospect. This draft, every draft has a quarterback boom or bust, and he is that guy. So it's gonna work or it ain't. Like I don't think it's gonna be a middle thing.
Right.
So that's my thing with him. I mean, I still would like to go with him. Him being maybe, like I said, the top 3 rookies, Russell Wilson, then Justin Fields. I know it's hard for Chase to believe, but that's my 5th choice actually.
Yeah.
So
well,
if you're looking here, this is the quarterback list. This is how bad it is.
Go ahead. What you gonna say, Terry?
And everybody else. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, of course.
No. What I was gonna say is, guys. As we evolve, as the NFL evolves, you have to, from a fan perspective, mature to the point. You're not always going to get what you want, right? You're not always going to get what you want. And the thing about it is, you know what? Hey, I would love to have Drake May. I would love to have. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you ready to give up a 1 and a 2 for 2024, a 1 and a 2 for 2025, and a 1 and a 2 or a 1 for 2026? Right? If you're not ready to do that, then stop talking, because that's what it's going to take to get to number 1. If the Bears decide to trade, right? And probably not too much less than that to get to 2 or 3. So if the Falcons are trading up, unless you're talking about giving up children, you're probably looking at pick 4, 5, or 6. And I just don't know that one of those 3 will be there.
Yeah.
Right. So to all of you who are out there who are saying, and again, no disrespect to anybody, we're all fans. I promise you, I'm passionate, but I'm not coming at you. But you really have to look at this from a realistic standpoint. Guys, we have to replace Jake on our offensive line. You know, Jake's getting a little long in the tooth, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna need a second cornerback, right? You know, I don't know that we can afford to give up a 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 2 and a 1 for the next 3 years. So if you can't do that, then where does that leave you? Right? That leaves you probably at pick 4, pick 5, pick 6, or Russ, or the gentleman we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think there has to be a degree of reality, because a lot of us live in the stars. Oh, let's just go sign Dakota. Let's go sign Dak Prescott. No, not for $60 million. Right? No. And no disrespect to Dak. Get your money. Get your money, but not here. Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, who else is going to be out there? Let's be real. If you have a good quarterback, are you letting a good quarterback go? Bodie? Jack, are you letting a good quarterback go?
If I have a
absolutely
guy like
not. Good quarterback.
25, 26.
Hell no. And I think the Vikings feel the same way. So.
Absolutely. I'm about to piss some folks off. But to all of you folks who complained about Matt Ryan, how do you like it now? You know, how was life with Butt Fumble 2? A la, what's his name? What's his name?
Marietta.
You talking about Marietta?
Yeah.
Marietta?
Yeah, I call him Butt Fumble 2, right?
I call 75.
Hey,
I call
good quarterbacks do not grow on trees. And we are readily approaching the day and age where you probably, if you're going to be successful, are going to have to draft and develop a quarterback and hopefully win in those first 5 years.
Yeah.
Because once you pay him, if he's any good, it's going to be at least 40 to 50 million, right? That's where we are. So I don't mind Justin. I don't, you know, again, Bodie and I are aligned. Jack and I are aligned, but Bodie and I are aligned. I don't mind Justin, but the problem is you're only going to get 1 year of him, and then you got to resign him. And when you resign him, you're going to have to make some decisions. Because if he has a good year this year with us, his value is going to go up, right?
Yeah,
that's the same thing the Bears are thinking too. About why would they want to pass on Caleb Williams?
There you go.
When they can start over again with this kind of new system,
right?
Versus waiting Justin for this last year play out, and then he gives us the double finger salute, like, "Well, I'm finna really tax y'all now.
I'm out, right? I'm out."
So it's like, what do we do?
I believe we got whoever picks him up, whoever trades for Justin has to pick up his 5th-year option this year. This offseason. Like before the season starts, before this next season starts, they have to pick up his 5th-year option this offseason. And that's going to be upwards of 25 mil. So we got to make that decision. We're really kind of going with Justin for 2 straight years. Okay. So we're going for Justin 2 years, and then we'll decide after that. That is the plan if you trade for Justin Fields. So everybody knows that too.
Now, the cool thing about it, Falcon fans, as I was mentioning, you know, teams that are auditioning here to be your quarterback. Yeah, Russell Wilson now, who his comments with Brandon Marshall saying, "Oh, I love Denver, but I'm ready to go to a team that really wants me." You're gone, Russ. You're going to find that team. Justin Fields with his comments, he's probably gone. So that's your second quarterback.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins at the ESPYs or the NFL honors doing the dance, showing off his Achilles, that he can move and he can, you know, that was kind of like, okay, you know, you got hurt, you got injured, and then you're dancing on the NFL honors. A lot of NFL teams are watching. A lot of NFL GMs are watching. You know, you're going to be a free agent. People are kind of worried about your age and the Achilles, and here you go dancing, doing the moves on NFL honors. But then there's a video that comes out this week where your kids are playing with you, and they step on your Achilles, and you can clearly hear you say, "Do not step on my Achilles." So I don't know if you're 100% Kirk, but people are seeing that type of stuff saying, "I don't want him. Nope, I don't want him." So how can the Falcons get a Drake May? How can the Falcons get a Jaden Daniels? I'm going to show you how. The Bears say two options. One, they keep Justin Fields, or two, they go and get Caleb Williams. Now, if they go and get Caleb Williams, let's just say Justin Fields goes to, let's just hope. Now, we want to get a young guy. So Fields goes to the Raiders, right? He goes to the Raiders. Caleb Williams goes 1 to the Bears.
Yeah.
Number 2, Russell Wilson hooks up with his old friend Dan Quinn in Washington, right? So now Russell Wilson goes to Washington. Kirk Cousins now, he goes to the Patriots at 3. Now you have quarterbacks available who were supposed to be in the top 5, but now you have 3 teams who were supposed to select these guys go and get veterans. Or, Caleb Williams went 1, Justin Fields went Washington. Justin Fields went Vegas. Russell Wilson went Commanders. Kirk Cousins went to Patriots. So now you have Jaden Daniels on the board. Now you got fucking Drake May on the board. And here come the Falcons saying, hey, Washington, you guys don't need a quarterback at 2. You guys can get your guy at 8. Hey, Patriots, you guys don't need a quarterback at 3. You can get your guy at 8. And then those trades can open up to where we might be able to move up to 2 or 3. Okay. But if you go into the draft and the Bears have traded Justin Fields to the Raiders, and the Bears are sitting at number 1, and the Commanders don't have a quarterback, Russell Wilson went to the Vikings, and then the Patriots don't have a quarterback. Kirk Cousins is still a free agent. It's going to be very difficult for the Falcons to move up to 2 and 3 to go get their guy. It's going to be very difficult because the Washington Commanders are going to look at the phone and say 404 or 678. That's the Falcons calling. Why would a team who wants a quarterback give up the spot for you to go get your quarterback? Why would Dan Quinn say, oh, hey, what's up, Atlanta? Oh, you guys want a quarterback? Oh, okay. Why would he do that if he wants a quarterback? Yeah. Why would Dan Quinn do that? If the Patriots want a quarterback, why would they answer the phone for Atlanta and say, oh, Atlanta's coming up to 3 to get their guy. We'll settle for a tackle. What organization is about to do that, Falcon fans? Let's be real here. What organization, Bodie? If I call you right now, Bodie, and you're in New England, and I want your pick at 3. You want a quarterback? I want a quarterback. Are you giving me that pick?
I mean, if I need a quarterback, I'm not doing it.
You didn't get nobody in free agency, and you want a quarterback. You're sitting on the draft night.
Look,
what are you doing, Bodie? You're not going to trade it.
This rabbit hole goes deep. Because personally, I feel like they could sign a Russell Wilson. Like, he could go with Dan Quinn in Washington. And these MNFers could still draft a quarterback. That they need a quarterback. You don't know which Russell you getting. Mm-hmm. So there's that scenario. I mean, we could go scenario after scenario after scenario. There are options. But I get what you're saying. Why would you help out a fellow? Unless the compensation is just that damn good. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much what you're saying. That compensation got to be off the wall, crazy.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a Cowboys Minnesota trade.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to give till it hurts.
Mm-hmm. Right? Williams Saints trade.
Yeah,
remember that?
It's gonna hurt you and the guy next to you and the guy next to him. That's gonna be the impact felt if you really want to go up and get that. And you just have to ask yourself, okay, I mean, are any of these guys really worth it? Now, I like Drake, and I like McDaniels. I do. And I like him because you got to think about it. He had no defense. It was all on him. And for the most part, he answered the bell. So there's certain intangibles there that I like, right? I do. I like him.
And let me tell you something else.
Okay,
so let me play this. All right, so I like. All right, so we know we're giving life-changing trade for number 1. We're probably not doing that shit
automatically.
Right?
I'm not doing life-changing for number.
I don't see the Falcons at number 1.
Unless you love Drake May, unless you love one of them guys at number 2, you're not doing life-changing for that either. And I'm not doing life-changing for Jaden Daniels. I'm just not. So unless it's number 1 or nothing to me. Honestly.
The tough part is the Falcons. Like, I don't. It's tough for me as a fan right now to say they're getting ready to move to number 1. But I just don't see it just yet. Now,
Yeah,
maybe something might
me
happen in
neither.
free agency or March 23rd, 24th. That's showing me, well, Russell went to the Vikings and Justin is in Las Vegas. What are they doing? Then I can probably look at it. But right now, you can't get to the draft until you get through free agency.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Falcons have to pick up the phone March 11th, 12th, 13th, whenever. If Terry call me, Terry. Not Terry T. Will. Terry Font, no, Terry F. Baby, call me, please. I will make the call to Russell Wilson my damn self. Right? I'll get him on the horn. He'll be like, who's this? He'll be like, hey, it's Jack Spade. I have a podcast. It's called One Time for the Fan. Bodie, Terry, Kiara, Chase. It's pretty cool. You should check it out. You need to be a Falcon, Russell Wilson. Straight up. Like, that's what I would love. But then again, the Falcons will pick up the phone and call Kirk Cousins team 2.
Yeah.
Justin Fields in Chicago team 2. But don't forget, Falcon fans, Justin Fields' agent is the same agent who represents AJ Terrell, Kyle Pitts, and Jesse Bates.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Now that I did not know.
So for Falcon fans, if you see Justin Fields end up in Atlanta, like, why?
If you don't think that makes a difference, you're blind.
If you don't think that agent doesn't make a difference, I'm telling you right now. And let me tell you something about NFL. I'm sure Kyle Pitts and Drake London and Bijan, they're not finna go out there and say, oh, man, why we get this guy? The first tweet from Kyle Pitts is going to be like, what's going to say? Let's work. What is the first tweet from Drake London going to say? Let's get it. You think Jake Matthews is going to say, man, I won't block for him?
This ain't the longest yard.
The players ain't saying it. The players ain't saying it, and they finna go do it. So
Jack,
that's our case for all the quarterbacks. Terry?
I got a question for you.
Yeah, man.
Because this is, the more we talk about this, the more I hear it's a real possibility we could take JJ McCarthy.
Now,
that's been running through my head too.
Yeah,
that is my outside of the box answer.
Yeah, it's a real possibility, right? I'm hearing he's got a big arm, right? So if we look at the pros and the cons, I'm hearing the guy's got a big arm. Okay. My only concern is when it comes down to it, in a lot of tight situations, Harbaugh ran the ball. So what does that tell you? How does he feel? You get what I'm saying? And you know what? Maybe he didn't have the greatest receivers. I don't know. I don't follow Michigan. So I cannot accurately, right? I cannot give you an intelligent assessment of McCarthy as a QB because I don't know enough about Michigan.
Here's the cool thing.
It does give me pause. Okay. That in tight situations, you run the ball. Why is that, Harbaugh? What do we not know? Right? I don't know. But it's again, to be positive, we have a great offensive coordinator who is a quarterback whisperer, and maybe he can get the best out of him. But the more I think about it, and the more I look at what you would have to give up to get the 1, 2, or 3, and now that Jack, you put it that way, it's a real possibility we could go with JJ McCarthy and then maybe spend that money on the back end on defense or other free agents. And I'm just wondering, and I'll, be quiet now. What do you guys think about that? Now, JJ McCarthy at 8. Jack, what are you thinking?
That's a hot take. I'll do quickly, and then Bo, you can piggyback off that. We'll get to the last topic. We'll get up out of here. Terry, I have the 5 quarterbacks that I have on my list, right? And I posted it in the chat. So it's Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and the 5th person was Michael Penix. Then I take Penix off, and then I put, well, maybe we can trade for Geno, and then Geno stayed in Seattle, and I was like, okay, well, let's put Kirk Cousins back on because of the rumors. But I'm slowly taking that Cousins off because I don't want to pay that amount for no 36-year-old quarterback. But the rumors are saying Cousins to Atlanta, so I keep him on the list because that's how you got to keep open-minded about this stuff.
Right.
But I'm going to put JJ McCarthy in at 5 going into this week. I have a couple of days off where I'm going to be watching the combine. I want to see from JJ McCarthy what he has to offer, because the Penix sliding back and him sliding up, and Penix could be a day 2 guy and he could be day 1, and Jim Harbaugh's comments about JJ being an excellent quarterback and phenomenal. I mean, he won a national championships with the guys, so he's going to talk highly of him. But am I ready for a JJ McCarthy here in Atlanta? Not just yet, because I haven't spoke about him. I haven't watched too much tape. But Terry, you brought that to my attention. The same thing Country mentioned to me today, that JJ McCarthy too as well. So I'm glad you brought that to my attention. I'm not ready for him in Atlanta yet. Not a name I've talked about much, but if he does ends up in Atlanta, we do have a Zach Robinson. We do have a quarterback coach. We do have some people that can make this guy a little bit better, seeing what they did in LA with Stafford and some of the other guys. But that's just my take on JJ right now. Maybe after the combine, oh shit, JJ, get the motherfucking JJ. You know what I'm saying? Right now, no, I ain't saying that right now. But otherwise, then he had a great college career. If he's going to go play in the NFL, if he's the next Falcons quarterback, we're going to talk about it here on the Fan. But Bodie, what you got, man?
I got a couple of takes. Okay. My feeling is because there's so many people comfortable with maybe even the Falcons even taking McCarthy at 8, like Mel Kiper, like these other analysts and writers. They're actually comfortable. We're just saying it's okay, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with us taking JJ McCarthy at 8. I feel like he would be a better pro than college. I feel like he'll be able to show more in the pros than he did in college. That is why they are saying that. And I also say that they're saying that because the last 2 years, I'm looking at his stats now. He is who he is. But I mean, he takes care of the ball. He doesn't make mistakes. He has high percentages. I watched some show, and they were talking about JJ McCarthy's percentages were one of the highest, even higher than some of his the guys that are before him, ranked before him, and completion and red zone stuff. I can't give you numbers. I should have wrote them down.
You're not professing today. You're just frank.
Nah, I'm just a regular old Joe. But yeah. So like they're saying that dude is the ultimate game manager in college because they chose to run the ball in big situations. Hell, I'll say this though. They did run the ball a lot because they were all beating the shit out of everybody they faced. Okay, so JJ McCarthy,
running back in damn near college football, right? Didn't he break the Michigan record?
The number one. Look, I mean, let's be real. Most of the games they were up by halftime. They're up by 13 already. So that was their average. I do know that stat. So the Michigan average last year when they were up at halftime by 13. That's the average. Okay. So it was easy. You got the best one of the best running backs in the nation. Keep getting his ass the ball. And it just made it easier. I will say that JJ played in a pro style offense. What Harbaugh runs, y'all know it's a pro style offense. Okay. 22. Look, last year, not this past year, but the year before, he had a 64% completion percentage. He threw for 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 5 picks. That's good. For what he does. And this past year, national championship year, he had a 72% completion percentage in a pro style offense. That's because they beating everybody ass. 22 touchdowns, 4 picks. He threw for just right under 3,000 yards.
He improved a little bit on the yardage.
He improved that completion percentage a lot. There is promise here. Of course, he's not my first, second, third, and all that stuff choice. He's not a flashy guy.
Right.
And that's what has us on this edge right now.
Right.
He don't have that big Josh Allen arm.
Right.
He don't run around like a gazelle like Jaden Daniels. He don't do.
He just plays football.
There's no panache. There's no panache with him. There's no je ne sais quoi, right? He's just JJ.
He's a lunch pail guy. He takes his goddamn lunch pail. He goes to work,
and comes home.
Does his fucking job, and he goes home.
Right.
So
So
There could
there's
be
no
something
knock to
there.
JJ McCarthy here. Then I think
I
JJ
have no
McCarthy is a
knock
name
to
that we're
JJ
not.
McCarthy. But I will say, this is
Mhm.
my last point. I meant to say this at the top.
Mhm.
But I say, if we get a JJ McCarthy, I can see us signing a Russell Wilson and still drafting a JJ McCarthy at 8 if Zach Robinson loves him that much.
Really?
I can
Mhm.
see that. I can see that. I don't
I
see
don't know
why
about
not.
that.
Are you
'Cause
It
QB
just
battling
depends.
JJ
It
at 8
depends.
versus Ritter?
I don't say
if
it's a
he's still here?
battle.
I-
I think he's coming to sit his ass down for a year or two if
Mhm.
that happens. But I wouldn't, that this is all contingent on free agency. If
Yes.
we
Right.
fill up all the
Right.
holes, if
Right.
we look like
Yes.
okay, we don't absolutely need nothing when it comes to the draft. Like we found a pass rusher, we found a second corner, we found a wide receiver or two, and we don't need nothing. Like
Right.
that's a possibility. But we thought possibilities to the cows come home.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button as we get ready to wrap up this show. We talk so much again about the quarterback position because why? It's very important here in Atlanta. Whoever the
Very
quarterback
important.
is, from Chase, and I talked to Chase, to Kiki, to Bodie, to Terry, whoever the quarterback is here in Atlanta, we will support that quarterback just like we do any other player in Atlanta because some people might want a rookie, some people might want a veteran, some people might want Jack Spade. And right now, I
No,
ain't playing.
nobody wants Jack Spade.
I'm just letting you
80
know.
yards on the run, baby. 80 yards on the run.
Fucking Drake May showed me up by doing 80 with the one step. He did the one step 80 off the goalpost. I'm kind of upset because now I have to go find my tape and post that too as well. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Don't be surprised if it is a JJ McCarthy too as well. We have the combine coming up this week, so we do see a little bit of football back, for some of the players. And like Country said, Falcon fans, anybody can have a good workout. Anybody could have a good workout. So don't take some of these numbers as, oh my God, he's the greatest player in the NFL. We got to see them out there in a pro style situation too as well. So if it is JJ, we will see. But for the free agents, you do have to get to free agency first before draft. Bodie, you mentioned it too as well with, some of the names that we can bring in. The Falcons with the cap space they have, they're going to make some moves. The Liam McCollum signing before the weekend, the re-signing of Liam McCollum. We're sitting there just chilling, Falcon fans, and the next thing you know, you get a notification, snap, crackle, pop, he's back or whatever. And I look down, it's like Liam Neeson, what the fuck? Liam McCollum has resigned with the Falcons. And when you look down, you're looking at it like they resigned the long snapper before the weekend. That's just a taste of how Terry's getting ready to start cooking on your ass. You can somebody cooking up there. Terry, T Will. I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
into the weekend. I went into this weekend after the Liam signing, like we just re-signed the long snapper.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Smile came up on my face like, wait a minute. Somebody done put the ingredients out. Somebody's up there. Somebody's starting to cook. It might be just a long snapper, but Terry brought us into the weekend by having us feeling good about something, right? We re-signed the long snapper. Now, guess what, Falcon fans? I think this week we might get one more re-signing. Why just re-sign the long snapper? I understand he's probably the cheapest deal in the team. Yeah, true. But my boy CP's over there too, man.
Yes, he is.
You can do it.
Yeah, you can.
You can do it.
It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. It would not hurt. I agree.
But we're going to find out some news in a matter of weeks. And if you guys go back and look at the timeline of the Falcons, and I want you guys to go back because I did on One Time for the Fan. Between this week and next week, let's just say Wednesday, the time is adjusted, the dates and everything. But between this week and next week, like Friday, the Falcons did make some more moves around this time last year by, re-signing and who's staying and who's going. You kept hearing news around this time. So the Liam news going into the weekend was like, they already got their first plan in place.
I mean,
and I want to see it.
They're going to be in the offices because the combine is there. If they sending representatives to combine, it's going to be people in the offices and stuff. I mean, so business is going to be rolling, and that's why they think a lot of all the re-signing is going to happen. That I'm hearing that they're looking to move Justin Fields quickly, so we should know where he goes soon, like real soon. So there's that. I mean, they're just trying to get stuff going. They want to know where they're at before free agency, and then knock free agency out. and then they know where they're at for the draft. Knock that out too. So
And the cool
it's
thing
gonna be a
about that
busy
is,
week.
you're right, Bodie. And the cool thing about that is you should hear, at least because the Bears do hold the NFL by the jugular right now, we should hear some Bears news close to like March 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, before free agency, because they're close to those offices and they're on the phones. So we should be hearing Adam Schefter randomly on March the 12th saying, oh, just be expecting the Chicago Bears to release Justin Fields or Xbox, that type of shit, right? So just be prepared for what could happen in the matter of days. We see teams releasing guys and they're trying to clear cap space, and we know guys won't be re-signing with teams. Kendrick Bourne, another guy, Patriots wide receiver, is going to be available too as well. Mike Williams from the Chargers, Chargers wide receiver too as well. Khalil Mack. Some of these names, teams are trying to open up cap space. They're trying to rebuild in different ways. The Falcons can use a lot of this talent. You know what I'm saying? Christian Wilkins, could he be a fit here in Atlanta? That's a dominating force if you're looking for a 3-4 guy. Country opened up today the fact of Bud Dupree and Calais Campbell, who would come back in that situation with this 3-4 defense that they're going to be running too as well. Some other names that could fit here in Atlanta, we will talk about on the next episode of One Time for the Fan. Falcon fans, remember now, if you are going on the road this season, we play Minnesota, we play Washington, we play Vegas, we play the Broncos. Who else, Bodie? We play the Carolina, Tampa, New Orleans. If you are going on the road and you want to party with Falcon fans in a major way, I'm talking about in a major way, not on a minor level, in a major way, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you want to head on over to the Rise Up Tour group, grab your membership. Bodie, you've seen the membership with the lanyards and the T-shirts and everything that we got going on too as well. The parties, the events, and everything that we throw is just through the roof. So head on over to the Rise Up Tour group, grab your membership. You can use OTFTF at the checkout of your membership. One time for the fan. See that? One time for the fan. Yeah, I did that. I created that. That's pretty cool. One time for the fan. You can use that at the checkout. Grab your membership. We're going to be in Denver this year. We're going to be in Vegas this year. We're going to be in Minnesota. We're going to be in Washington. We want fans to come out and have a good time. You guys heard about the parties. You guys heard about these events that we do. We want everybody to be on board. So head on over to the Rise Up Tour to grab your membership. Terry, as we get ready to wrap up this show here, it's been great talking Falcons football. And we do want to announce that we have our Breakfast with One Time for the Fan show, which is on Friday mornings at 9 a.m. So we want fans to not be alarmed when they see One Time for the Fan is live at 9 a.m. This is a glitch. No, it ain't. We are live at 9 a.m. And we probably have a special guest too as well on Friday. So now you have, during the off season, a Sunday show. You have your Wednesday show. Now you have your Friday morning show. So we have enough One Time for the Fan for everybody. We want people to enjoy this off season, right? Bodie, he's enjoying the off season. Chase is enjoying the off season. Kiki's enjoying the off season. Terry and I, we're all enjoying the off season, but we love talking Falcons football. And it's to the point where if we're putting more shows out there, that means we have a lot of stuff to say to you all. So we want to make sure fans are really engaged with what we have to say. And we do say thank you all from One Time for the Fan. Terry, any shout outs before we go ahead and get up out of here, brother?
Yes, sir. I want to, again, Bodie, it was really fun. Please, let's do this again. Enjoyed it. Been looking forward to working with you, and you did not disappoint. I'm honored, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Secondly, shout out to my family, my brother, Victor, my sister-in-law, Gayla, my niece, Logan, my wife's family. My mom's been under the weather, and they all came over yesterday. So many folks, at least 10, 20 folks from my wife's family, to help us take care of them. So really want to shout them out. And last, and of course not least, Jack, cannot thank you enough. Thank you for having me. And as long as you keep inviting me, I will continue to come back. And lastly, thank you to the fans, because without you guys, we would not be here. That's all for me.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Bodie 3000. For the fans that do not know, man, we talked for 2-3 hours when we first started. Technical difficulties. Man just bumped his foot. You all right, MJ? My son gets destroyed his foot down here on this table. I think he's gonna think about that next time. One time for the fan, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Bodie, when we first talked about the Falcons, we had a conversation for 2 hours, and then after that, We did a draft show for 3 hours first day. Then we did a draft show for 4.5 to 5 hours the second day. And then 3 hours again on the third day, just talking Falcons football. Now we are here, a year and some change later, where we have a new head coach. We're going to get a new quarterback. We're going to turn this thing around. Bodie, in these next couple of years for this podcast, we could be talking about a Super Bowl One Time for the Fan podcast. Am I right? Can you mix that in with your shout outs here, Bodie?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, we on an upward trajectory. I mean, we got the talent, we got the right leadership. I don't see why we wouldn't be on that Super Bowl trajectory. So, yeah. But yeah, shout out to you, Terry, the Phillies Mutual. Been watching. Man, yeah, you're a wealth of knowledge, brother. I look up to that. So I appreciate you being here. Now, just look forward to doing more shows with you and navigating this off season. Yeah. Jake. Get back to State Farm and get my shit together.
Shit.
I was waiting for that.
When he said Jake, I looked around and said Jake.
I was waiting for that.
And then clean my gutters too.
Shit.
Goddamn punk. Anyway. So shout out to I guess we shout out mothers today. My mother is been going through it lately. So shout out to my mom. If she's watching this. She might be watching this. She might not be. She might be asleep. But yeah. So shout out to Terry. Shout out to your mom too as well. Shout out to everybody, mom. I wish all good health and everyone's mother.
And to yours. And to yours as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who watched the show, man. Y'all day one, y'all one-timers. Appreciate that. That's the name I came up with. I humbly say I'm one-timers. I need to put that shit on a t-shirt.
It's gonna be in the chat more often going forward, I promise you.
Yeah, because nobody says fan club. Anyway, yeah, shout out to everybody who's been here day one. Shout out to everybody who's watching it tonight for the first time. Appreciate you. Y'all keep rolling through, man. We're gonna keep talking. We're gonna keep bringing us this content. We're gonna keep bringing this knowledge. We're gonna keep bringing these opinions because like Jake say all the time, we always trying to win. We're always trying to win. So I'll stop calling you Jake after this, Jake. Anyway,
from State Farm.
I won't saturate it on the next show.
Shit.
Maybe not. Maybe I will. But yeah, man. We having fun, man. We talking about these Falcons, man. Rise up.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Falcons, if you do end up listening to something like this on your spare time, just bring in some guys that's going to help us win. It's time to get a championship in this city. Everybody wants to see it here. We want to see it here. But big shout out to everybody in the chat, Terry, Bodie, the team, the organization. It's the reason why we do this. Kenny, I'm about to give you a call in just a minute. I remember you gave me your number too as well. I'm going to talk to you. I did see your name on the Rise Up Tour list too as well. So you're good. But Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Let's do this together, y'all. We're fans. Win, lose, or die. Or win, lose, or draw. We're fans at the end of the day, right? We all want to see this team win. Let's find a way to come together, regardless if it's this podcast, anybody else's podcast. Find a way to come together and let's go win us the championship. Bodie, Terry, I thank you all. Chase, Kiki. Oh, matter of fact, Chase, you can do the driveway in the morning before it rains.
Shit.
HOA's coming by.
Shit.